Hello everyone. If you are a previous viewer, I'd like to welcome you back. If you are a new viewer, I'd like to welcome you as well. My name is Marquis, and today we are training legs. If you're interested in trying this routine, it is now available on my app. I will post the link in the description box below so you can give it a try. Make sure you watch the full video, as I will have very important form tips and instructions for each exercise that I am doing. Last but not least, I need you guys to do me a favor and to subscribe to the channel, as this helps me to help you create more content with whatever fitness goals you may need. Now let's get to it. All right everyone, before I start training legs, I always foam roll. Now foam rolling is very important to help loosen up tight muscles, any inflammation, and also helps increase your range of motion. Now, if you start this out, first time you've ever done it, it may be painful. I recommend only putting it on the muscle, never put it on your joints, all right? And you wanna, if it's very tight, hold it on the tightest spot for about 30 to 40 seconds. Again, when you come into the gym, you're usually tight from your work or whatever you got going on throughout the day. So it's very important that you loosen up. Now, the muscles that we are training today is the quads and the adductors. So if you don't know what those muscles are, your quads are here and your adductors are here. Your adductors are meant to stabilize your hips. Your quads, they help you with running and moving, anything like that. Speaking of adductors, I don't know if you guys saw that Instagram post by Kevin Hart, but he actually tore his adductor from running, right? Again, the adductors stabilize your hips. So it's very important to strengthen your adductors. Don't neglect them. Like these are the adductors here. I mean, right now I'm foam rolling my quads and my adductors. You know, again, help loosen them up if they're tight and help me with that range of motion as I go through today's exercise. All right, so what I'm gonna do now is a warm up. So this is called a 90-90 dynamic stretch. Dynamic stretch just means like you're just basically moving, right? Creating blood flow into my hips, into my legs, and also again, just tight muscles, right? If I'm gonna be doing a lot of heavy lifting, you wanna make sure that your body is ready to go, right? So you don't create any injuries down the line. So I do about 12 reps of this. I'm gonna put the sets and reps while I'm doing this. You'll see it below as well. But I always recommend either dynamic stretching. Some people do static stretching, whatever you recommend. I like dynamic stretching. Static stretching is more of a hold. So if I'm sitting there holding, that's a static stretch. Dynamic is when you're actually doing the same movement. You're doing movement while you're stretching. So now, another warm up I'm going to do now is called a T-spine rotation. So what I like to do is get a good stretch in the back leg. This might be very difficult for somebody starting out. My leg's gonna be straight, and then right here I'm rotating my body and then turning my hand, opening up to create that T position, right? Just help open up. This is like one of my favorites because it helps open up everything. My hips, my upper body as well. Just get everything moving, nice and functional before you actually lift. And now, if you have a hard time with this, then just start with here and then just step up. You don't have to do the rotation of the arm, all right? But this is one of my favorite warm-ups. This one and the next one I'm gonna do are two of my favorite warm-ups that I like to do. And again, 12 reps total here. So this is one, and then the next one will be two. You do that all the way till 12 reps. And you hop right into the next warm-up after that, which is gonna be gorilla squats. So I come here, I get in the squat position, right? My feet are a little wider than shoulder width, so that way I can get all the way down, right? So I'll get into a squat position, I'll grab my toes, oops, almost bust my butt. Then drop my hips down. Hinge up again, push my glutes back, push my hips all the way down. Again, this is another one, open up the hips. Great one, open up the hips, create that blood flow. If you're not warming up before your exercise, you should. It just helps create blood flow again. Like I said, blood flow, and just helps to avoid injuries. Any injuries that may happen later down the line, you don't want to deal with that kind of stuff. And you're gonna do this 12 times as well. So I'm cutting it short a little bit because I want you guys to see the other movement I'm going to do next. But you wanna do about 12 reps, 2 sets each time. Next one is gonna be a side lunge. So everything is, if you notice, everything was just in one position. Now we're gonna open up the hips a little bit more. So side lunge, you're just gonna step out, try to drop your hips down to your heels, the back side of your heel, and try to keep your shin vertical to put more stretch on the glute. Now I notice a lot of people when they do side lunges, they lock this knee, like you push this knee back. We don't want to do that. You want to take your hips, you want to push it straight back to the side. Open up them hips a little bit more. And then keep your weight on your outside of your heel. Then you're gonna press up. And you're gonna do 12 reps on each side. I don't wanna give you too many cues to just confuse you guys, but again, this shouldn't be too crazy. It should be very easy. Now, range of motion, I know you guys heard me talk about range of motion earlier. Range of motion is how far you can actually get down. So if I'm here and I'm only able to get right here, that means my range of motion is very short. Now, what you wanna do is keep challenging yourself on seeing how far you can actually get that hip down without letting your knees go over, without leaning too much forward. You know, keep challenging yourself. That's range of motion. And I'll talk more about range of motion as we go through the exercises. And that's why foam rolling and stretching is very important to help increase your range of motion. So I did 6 on that side. I'm gonna do 6 on this side. There we go, good. And now we're gonna hop into the workout, that's it. So you're gonna do that for about 2 sets. No rest with that. You just wanna hop into it. So I'm ready to go. I got a nice little sweat going, got some blood flow going, and we're gonna hop into the first workout. All right, the first 2 exercises though, gonna be very easy, right? Now that we loosen up the hips and open up the body a little bit, now we're gonna target the specific muscles we are training. First exercise is gonna be a leg extension. Next exercise is gonna be the adductor machine. And I'll explain that when we get over to the machines, all right? Let's go. Before I want to hop into the workouts, I do want to express, you know, my gratitude and appreciate this man right here. This is his facility. This is Warhouse in San Diego, California. If you haven't been here, it's the best private gym in San Diego. He created all of the workout machines in here. Well, not all of them, most of them, but we're gonna see some of them today. But his name is Adam Steele, and I'll make sure to follow their YouTube channel as well.
Yeah, thank you, Marquis, appreciate you. Yeah, you guys keep up with this guy. He's one of the most knowledgeable trainers we have here in the Warhouse. I'm super proud to have him here. Yeah, get a chance, let us know what you think. Check in with him and come check us out. We work hard here, and I built the place, but it's all yours.
Appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, man, you guys enjoy.
All right, thank you. And that's Mel. Mel, just walking away. So Mel is the GM, all right? Let's see if I catch her off guard. Hey, there you go. So this is Mel. Mel is the GM of the Warhouse as well. And again, I just want to show gratitude to the people that have, you know, given us the opportunity as trainers and also create this dope environment for all of us.
Yes, yes, of course. I mean, if it wasn't for Marquis and everybody else and Steve, we wouldn't have as big of a Warhouse. So the community is the biggest thing.
And I'm sorry to catch you off guard, Mel.
Yeah, no worries.
Like, what's going on? All right, let's hop into the workout. Let's do this. Okay, so this is the first exercise. Again, as I explained, the first 2 workouts, you want to go lighter weight. I'm isolating the muscle now, meaning I'm just targeting the muscle only. So now I'm hitting the quads, and I'm doing single leg extensions. So I like to do single leg extensions, 15 reps on each leg, because in that way they get equal amount of work, right? So you'll start noticing what side of the leg is stronger than the other. And I think for me, it's very important that I work them equally instead of just doing both. So if I do both, one side may be stronger than the other. I had surgery on this knee, so I like to do both, right? I like to get individual sessions. So you might hear people say unilateral. So this is a unilateral movement, meaning just moving one side of the body only. And again, you're doing 15 reps each side. You're gonna no rest. So you're gonna hop from one leg to the other, and you're gonna do 15 reps. Another thing you wanna do too, you wanna make sure that when you're coming up, make sure you're squeezing the quads and not locking, so you don't want to lock out at the top as well. So you just want to try to keep tension here. You also don't want to come all the way to the bottom slamming the weight. Keep tension on the quads the whole time. Squeeze the quads as you come up. You're going to start feeling them burn a little bit, but that's what we want. We really want them to burn and get that blood flow in there. All right, and then you may see tempo on the app. You're going to hear me say tempo a lot. Tempo is just controlling the 3 planes of motions. So you got the eccentric, concentric, and isometric. So those are all different planes of motion at the, muscle contractions, not planes of motion. Those are all different muscle contractions. So here's a good example. Concentric is coming up, right? So if I say concentric on the count of 2, you're gonna come up on the count of 2. 1, 2. Isometric is at the top, I'm holding. That's isometric hold, it's a different muscle contraction. If I say 3, you're gonna hold it for 3. If I come down eccentric, that's the eccentric motion. You're gonna come down on the count of 4. So to be 1, 2, hold for 3, come 1, 2, 3, 4. That's if you choose to do it. You may see that on the app, a lot of tempo. But again, right now we're just getting blood flow in there. All right. Now let's hop into the next exercise. I'm feeling good, dog.
It's a good leg day?
Good leg day. You guys need to try it out, man. You need to hit on that app and try out this workout. I got a bunch of other unique workouts on there you can try as well. So the app is called Playbook. So what you want to do is you want to hit the link in my bio and my Instagram, or you can hit the link below in the description box where you can try out all of the unique workouts in there. I got stuff for beginners, people that are advanced, like even beginner. People that have low back issues, I recommend the core stability routine in there. Got all unique workouts, kettlebell functional training, a lot of different unique workouts on there that you can try, and I will continue to add more. So also comment below, let me know what kind of workouts you would like to see, what kind of information that you want to learn about that I can explain to you. Now, let's do this. This is the second workout. Right now, we're still warming up the adductors. I'm isolating the movements right now, so I use machines to isolate them. A lot of people think this machine is for women. False. This machine is for everybody. Remember, your adductors stabilize your hips. So if you're squatting, you're running, you're jumping with heavy weight, and you're running fast, or whatever you're doing, your adductors are stabilizing your hips to produce the movement. So train your adductors. What I'm doing is I'm a lightweight, and I'm only doing about 15 reps to get some blood flow in there. Now, when I'm doing this, as you can see, I'm not forcing, going real fast. I'm controlling the movement. I'm focusing on where I'm pulling from. So I'm controlling back, and I'm pulling from my adductors, which are in between my legs. And I'm squeezing at the top for a second. And you don't have to go very heavy with this. You want to do about 15 reps. And that's it. Once you do about 15 reps, take a little rest, and then do it again. You're going to do this for 3 sets. (15) 14, 15. Okay. Now, I know a lot of this stuff can seem like overwhelming or it's a lot of information overload, but take what you get from this video. So when it comes to adductors, I want you to think the way to target them is the center of your body's here, right? So anything moving towards the center of your body, especially your legs, is working the adductors. I know it may sound confusing, but think of it like this. You'll notice more when we'll do lunges. I'm gonna explain it a lot more. Now I'm sitting down, so it's hard to explain. But if you're adding to the center of your body with your legs, if your legs are coming in this way, you are training your adductors, right? So again, I'll talk about it more when we do lunges so you can see what I'm saying. So I'm gonna do this last set, and then we're gonna hop into the next exercise. So the first 2 exercises, it's not a lot of weight. Again, I'm isolating the muscle to get some blood flow in there to get ready for the heavy lifting. I'm real big on warming up. I'm not trying to get hurt. I'm not trying to, ego lift or go crazy. I'm really big on controlling weights, controlling movements, and making sure I'm hitting the right places and not let other muscles take over. So right now, I'm using the hack squat machine. You've seen both of the 2 exercises we've done before. Now we're going into more of the heavy lifting portion of it. You should be warmed up, your quads and your adductors should be ready to roll, your hips should be ready to loose. Now is where you challenge yourself on the workouts. For this hack squat, we're gonna do about 6 to 7 sets, and I'm gonna explain how we're gonna do it. Right now, I'm just gonna start, for me, this is a lighter weight, more going for like 12 reps. And as I go heavier, I'm gonna go for less reps, all right? So let's hop into it. All right, so when you're doing the hack squat, right, again, we're mainly targeting the quads. Your adductors may take over with this. There's a lot of cues when it comes to this machine. A lot of people, you can even train glutes on this machine. This is one of the hardest machines though, when it comes to training your quads. That's why you wanna make sure your warm-up's important. So I like to keep my feet straight. Some people like to turn their feet out. I like to keep my feet straight because I wanna challenge my stability. And I also wanna challenge to see if my knees collapse. I don't want my knees to collapse. I wanna keep a little bit of pressure here, right? So feet is always the first part. So I keep my feet shoulder width apart, slightly shoulder width. My core is always engaged, that's the first thing. Always make sure your core is engaged. So you wanna brace your core to protect your spine. The handle's here, you're gonna press up, never lock the knee. So you see how I'm locking the knee there? You never wanna do that, even from the beginning or the end. Keep a slight bend in the knee. You release the handles and now you're on your own. So next I wanna talk about is breathing. Your breathing is more important than pushing this weight up because you have more control, all right? So you're gonna inhale, you're gonna try to line your knees with your hips. You're gonna feel a stretch in the quads. You don't have to go way down. I see a lot of people go down. I try to line here for me to feel more pressure in the quads. And as I come up, I'm pushing my feet through the floor, through the center of my feet. I'm exhaling and bracing my core as I come up, okay? So I'm inhaling, feel a stretch in my quad, exhale, brace my core as I come up, all right? Create that stability. And I'm only doing 12 reps. And I'm not starting heavy. I'll work my way up into that. Right here, the first set I like to do is called a form check. Making sure my form is intact and everything is in control. Every rep should look the same. So what I mean by that is good example I'm gonna show you right now. So if I come down and I come up and my knees are collapsing, something's not right, right? So your adductors could be taking over. All the control right here. Inhale, exhale, squeeze your core. And then release, open up the handles, bring it back down, and take the recommended rest. So now, I'm gonna log the workout on my app, right? So, I did 12 reps on the hack squat machine. So the 12 reps on the hack squat machine shows you exactly how to do it. There's instructions right here for each workout. And then what I did, I'm gonna put the weight, how many pounds I did, okay? So let's just say 135, did 12 reps, whoops, 12, hit check, yikes. 135, hit 12, and the check's already there. Then you go back to it, and you finish your rest of your sets. And make sure you finish it. You can even add a set if you want to, right? I wouldn't recommend taking a set away, but you see how I got 8, right? That's gonna be a heavier weight. So next I'm gonna go up to 225 now, and I'm gonna do 12 for 225. All right, let's do it. So now, going a little heavier in the weight. Form's still the same. You're doing 12 reps again. Remember, you inhale, exhale, full control, even the bottom part. I might have did an extra set there, I don't even know, but it don't matter. Let's get it. Now I'm gonna go up in weight, and I'm gonna do less reps, all right? Now, if you're somebody just starting out, and you're not sure how to use the hack squat machine, I recommend just starting out with no weight, or even adding like 5 or 10 pounds on there until you get your form down. Your form is the most important, so if you try it on the app, just read the instructions, and if you guys need more detailed instructions on how to use this exact machine, I can even make a video on it with a lot more detailed instructions. Just comment below and let me know something that you would like to learn about in regards to this machine. Take a little rest, get my heart rate back down a little bit. Usually I like to track my calories on the Apple Watch. I love the Apple Watch. I think it's pretty dope. Be able to track how many calories you're burning, every workout you're doing, what your heart rate is, steps, yep, all of that kind of stuff. Oh yeah, I love it. All right, so now I'm going for 8. Usually when I start going too heavy, I like to wrap my knees if you're going very heavy, but I'm not here to go real heavy. Again, for me, the focus is more control. I'm real big on controlling the weight. That's like a big thing for me. All right, let's do this. 8 reps. Now, if I can't control it, then that means I gotta go lighter. That's just for me. You know, everybody trains a little bit different. My personal preference is, if I can't control the weight, it's too heavy for me. Yeah, so that was good. So that's a good working set. I'll probably go up a little bit more, but that's a good working set. Working set is more of like a challenging set for you. You want to challenge yourself on these type of machines, these type of workouts. But again, like you guys seen, like it was a good transition from my warm up, my hip mobility, to isolating the muscles, because now the muscles are working properly and other muscles aren't taking over to help the movement. Like I feel it all in the quads. If you don't feel it, like you start feeling it in your calves or your your glutes and things like that, that's okay as well. But those muscles are helping you with the lift. I'm trying to get mainly quads for here. All right, this is just with this routine. So I'm gonna do one more set. I'm gonna go to the next exercise. I don't think I've ever done 8 with this. I'm gonna try, we're gonna get that motherfucker today. Okay, I wanna talk about like eating now, right? So when you're lifting weights, right, and you're lifting, you know, say you start to go a little heavier with the weights, you wanna make sure you got a good amount of carbs in your system, right? So a lot of people say carbs are bad. For me, I feel like carbs are good if you're using them. If you're not using them, they're gonna get stored as fat. So it's very important that you use the carbohydrates. And make sure it's clean carbs, right? So like this morning I had oatmeal. So if I'm going to like, I knew I was gonna lift heavy. So the reason why it's important to have carbs when you're lifting, because when it comes to lifting weights, it's an anaerobic exercise, right? So anaerobic exercises require a different energy source than aerobic exercise. Aerobic exercise is like running, right? Long pace running. You ever notice how you can run on an empty stomach, right? Because your body is using fat as fuel when you're using aerobic exercise. But when you're doing an anaerobic, right, your body needs the carbohydrates, it needs the energy, it needs to enable to produce and, you know, create more force. If you ever feel like you got dizzy during your workouts, you may be low on carbs. So it's very important that you get some kind of carbs into your system. Not a lot, right? Today I had about a half a cup of oatmeal, but I feel good. I'm not lightheaded, I'm not dizzy, anything like that. And there could be other health reasons why you may be lightheaded and dizzy during workouts. But from my personal experience as a trainer, there's some things I've noticed with some of my clients when they don't have, you know, enough carbs in their system. So we tend to go lighter in weight. Yeah, you can do that too. You can do high carb days, you can do low carb days. But if you're doing the low carb days, make sure you change your training to where it's not like heavy lifting, right? You could do like a moderate or a light load, but it's gonna be very hard to produce that energy to get out. So you may feel sluggish and tired because you don't have the energy source to produce the weight. Again, I also want you to think like any anaerobic movements requires carbohydrates as an energy source. Very important to know that, all right? Let's try to get this. Not try, we're gonna get this.
Is that 4 plates?
What J. Cole say? ATM? All right, let's get it. That felt good. But I did notice, probably on my 6th rep, my calves started taking over. And that's something that I don't want. So just tells me that either with this, probably stop at like 4, so the quads get a lot stronger. But it felt good. All right, on to the next workout. Let's do this. Woo. This is the worst part about leg day. Re-racking the weights for real. But make sure you re-rack your damn weights. I think it's very important.
It's like all the rules
in the warehouse, absolutely. If you ain't re-racking weights in here, you won't last long, I'll tell you that. But it's very important because what if somebody like older want to hop on a machine, it's got all these plates on here, and she's trying to pull the weights off, she could hurt herself. You know, people are very selfish. Think of others when you're working out, not just yourself. All right, so right now the exercise I'm doing is an elevated dumbbell front squat. Now when you're doing this exercise, you want to elevate yourself a little bit. I grab about a 45-pound plate, right? And I just bring my feet inside. So my shoulder width is here. I like to bring my feet closer. You can hit the quads a lot more for me personally. But yeah, that's pretty much about it. When you're doing this, again, you want to focus on your breathing and your form. And you also want to focus that your range of motion is on point. So again, lining the knees with the hips, making sure your thighs are parallel to the floor. Really trying to hit that quads. So we're gonna do 3 sets of 15. The goal with this, I usually want to keep it close, but I don't want to hit the mic. So you want to keep it close so you don't put pressure on your low back. All right? Now you're gonna keep your core tight. You're gonna inhale, try to keep your back as straight as possible. You're gonna feel a stretch in the bottom. You're gonna squeeze your quads coming up. All right? So I'm going down again, 1, 2 on the tempo control, squeezing up. Now, the most important part is making sure you're not leaning forward. So you're front loading the weight, so the weight is targeting the quads. Now, if the weight was back loaded, like behind me, then I'll be targeting more hamstrings and glutes. I mean, you can hit the quads with a back loaded position, but for me personally, my opinion, front loading the weight is hitting the quads a lot more. And if your back is not straight, then you may hit the glutes, but we're trying to target all quads. All right, so Core tight. Exhale when you come up. Squeeze in the quads. Just like that. So yeah, the most important part, again, I'll show you. When you're to the side here, when you're coming down, you don't want to push your hips back. You want to try to stay as straight as possible. Coming down as low as you can. Now, a lot of people, you'll notice like your range of motion may be short, especially if you've never done this before. What I mean by that is you may just get right here. If you feel like you're going like this, then I want you just to stop at that range of motion until you get better. So if you're just coming here, that's okay. Just keep working on that until your range of motion gets better, where you can come all the way down without leaning. Try to challenge yourself. It looks easy, but it's very hard. If you try this at home right now, you'll see what I mean. You can even do it flat on the floor. Don't push your hips back, drop straight down. Straight as possible. And you're gonna feel it primarily in the quads. So again, you're gonna do 3 sets. Rest period gonna be 90 seconds. This routine is very challenging. All right, so 15 reps. I'm at the point where it's like I'm taxing the muscles. What I mean by that is like I'm challenging the quads and squeezing, get a lot more engagement. That's more of like a bodybuilding style, contraction, squeezing the muscle. But when it comes to the weight, I like to challenge myself. Again, if you're starting out, just do regular body weight, work your way up until your range of motion is good. Then I recommend adding some weights to it. So I'm gonna hop into another set. I'm not gonna do too many because I wanna keep the dumbbell close as possible. Now, when you're doing this, make sure your core is primary one. Just because somebody has abs doesn't mean they have a strong core, right? Core is everything. Core is your trunk, like your hips, right? Your transverse abdominis, which is the muscle that protects your spine, which is the muscle that's behind your abs. And that muscle helps with anything, helping you bracing, so you don't create back pain. Tired, this is taxing, this is a good one. I came up with this routine a while ago. I'm always mixing up different things, but the way I like to train is that your first 2 exercises in the gym, for me personally, should be your most challenging ones. The reason why is you come in, you have all the energy in the world. So you wanna give the most effort that you can to get the best results. So that's how I like to train. Into my workouts, I like to add stability. I like to add unilateral movements. I really don't like to neglect stability in my training. You might have seen me with shoes off and now shoes on. When I'm squatting or doing anything in that motion, deadlifting, I like to keep my feet, I have flat feet, so I got like duck feet, my feet are like that. So when I'm doing like squatting or anything like that, I want my feet to be as flat as possible. Because what will happen is sometimes with these type of shoes, your feet get narrow. And I also don't want my feet to do what's called an E version of the foot, where the foot go like this. That's the E version of the feet. So I also want to make sure that I got good control of my posture when I'm squatting, all right? So again, my feet go like, especially my right, because I had surgery on this foot. So my foot goes, especially my right one goes like that. So that's why I also add stability and challenge myself on putting a lot of pressure on the opposite side. No, I'm giving you guys a lot of information, but this is just one video. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you're interested in more information, more stuff you would like to learn, you know? And whatever it is you want to learn, whether it's workout, whether it's nutrition, put it in the comment section below and let me know what you would like to see. Let's finish up with this last set and we're gonna hop into the next exercise. Straight. Whew. Oh yeah. Now this workout is a little long. If you're doing this, it might last you about an hour, hour and a half. And if you want to cut some of the workouts out, lower the reps, lower the sets, you can as well. when you're doing this routines on the app, you can write down how many reps and sets and the weights you did, and then you can try it next week, see if you progress, and make sure you do progress. You don't want to degress, right? But that's how you get better. Progressively overload. Weekly, just adding the reps, the weight, or changing the reps, so that way your body doesn't get used to what you're doing. All right, now we're gonna hop into the next exercise. I'm feeling it now. Now I gotta go get some water. I should have had water in the beginning. Don't follow my lead when it comes to that. Make sure you drink your water. I'm gonna get some right now. So this next exercise, remember where you've seen it first, all right? This exercise is called a medial lunge. Remember, the goal is to target the adductors and the quads. So based on how you move your leg is gonna target a muscle group, right? What I mean by that is, if my legs are here, this is the center of my body, which is called the center of my midline, right? This is my midline. If I move my hip, if my leg coming in, I am adding to my center of my midline. And the muscle you're working are your adductors. Now, if you're moving your hip out, that's called abduction, like moving away. And you're not gonna hit the adductors. You're gonna hit either the quads or the glutes. So, if we're targeting the adductors for the medial lunge, this is how you wanna do it. A regular lunge is when you're here, straight, right? My knee is shoulder width. So I'm coming down. That's more quad dominant. Now, if we're gonna target the adductors, this is where you're gonna lose a lot of balance. You're gonna lose a lot of balance. So you're gonna take your leg, you're gonna come in. Try to line the toe of your foot with your belly button. You wanna come down, you wanna press off the center of your feet, and you're gonna feel that more in your adductors, all right? And you're gonna switch legs. See, I'm already losing balance. Center, line your toe with your belly button. Come all the way down, try to line the knees with the hips. Press to the center of your feet. Do it again, right? Make sure you got good control before you go down. Press up and hit your adductors. Again, step forward. Don't turn your foot in. You're gonna target a different muscle. Try to keep your foot straight. This is very challenging because you have to really challenge your core and your stability. So before you go down, make sure you're in a straight line. All right, so one more. So I can show you again, another demonstration. And for this one, you don't have to go heavy at first. Once you get starting better with the movement, then you can go up and go heavier, all right? So yeah, that one is a very good one to hit your adductors, okay? Now, so that way you don't only have to do the adductor machine. I see a lot of people just doing that. And like I told you in my other workout, at the end of my workouts, I like to challenge my core. I like to challenge stability. I like to challenge other muscles to work. When you're on machines, you're just isolating one muscle. When you're moving your body, you're working a lot more, right? And if your goal is to drop weight, whatever it may be, you want to move your whole body. Try not to be stuck on machines all the time. It's good for strength and isolation. But if your goal is to burn calories and lose weight, you should be moving your body. I'm gonna do it one more time, another demonstration, to show you how to do it. Whoop, lose a little bit of balance. It's all right though. Adding to that midline. Now, what happens is sometimes when you first start this, you may start to lose a little bit of stability, right? You may see your knees collapse. Try to keep your knees straight, lined up with the shin of your feet as well. You keep your shin vertical. Try to keep it vertical so you can really feel it in the adductor area. All right, and now I want to make a reassurance on this. So this is my hip, okay? So my hip, if this is going out, right? Abduction. Think of any way that'll help you remember this. So abduction is working different muscles. Abduction is more glute dominant, right? Adding is more adductor, a little bit of quads, but mainly adductors, right? Again, it's very important to train these muscles, as I explained before. If you're running, if you're squatting heavy, if you're doing a lot of those movements, you should be training your adductors. Try out this workout, man, you're gonna love it. On to the next workout, let's get it. As you guys see, I'm taking my shoes off, right? Like I said to you guys before, I got flat feet. So I like to make sure I got good stability when it comes to this routine. This routine is another stability routine. Again, stability at the end of my workout, but this one is very challenging. I like to use a kettlebell. You can use a dumbbell if you don't have a kettlebell, but I call it kettlebell front-loaded split squats, right? So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take the kettlebell, make sure you use your legs, don't pull from your back. Use your legs to lift up the kettlebell. You're gonna rotate your hand in. Make sure your elbow is close to your body. You don't wanna bring out, so you're gonna put a lot of pressure on your back. Keep the kettlebell close to you. You wanna hold this like right in between like your elbow area and your chest. It should be sitting right there, right? And your hand should be sitting at the edge of the kettlebell, okay? Now from here, take your other hand, you're gonna grab the kettlebell so it doesn't move, so you're stable. And then you're gonna go down to a split squat stance. So you're gonna inhale, you're gonna go straight down, keep your shin vertical. You're gonna press up through your quad, right? Come on the back toe. Come down with control, press up through your quad. This one is another great exercise that I like to do. I love kettlebell training because it just helps with functional movements. And again, functional movements, if you're not aware, or just movements that you do to help with movements that you do every day. Like every day we sit down, we stand up. This one is a very challenging one. Not much adductor. We're trying to hit a lot of quad here. You may feel some of your adductor because the last exercise we did was an adductor exercise, but trying to hit quads a lot. Focus on your breathing. Exhale up. Remember, back straight, because we're trying to go front load the weight again. Sometimes as you get tired, you'll feel like you're slightly leaning forward a little bit more. That's okay as well, but also make sure that core is engaged. That one's a tough one. I like that one. But I probably would have lost a lot more stability if I had shoes on. But yeah, man, this is a good workout. It's one of my favorites for the adductors and quads. This one is, I'm not centered, so I'm more on the outside a little bit. Right, if I was centered, it'd be more adductor. So, center line is your belly button, a good way to think. So your belly button's here, that's the center line of your body. The more you bring your legs in, the more you're gonna hit your adductors. Right now I'm going quads, so you want your feet about shoulder width apart, all right? And a lot of times you'll notice if you're doing this for the first time, your knees will start caving, especially women. Women cave, their knees cave a lot when they're squatting, leg pressing, or things like that, because you guys have wider hips, because you have to give birth. You're naturally with wider hips, and you naturally have wider hips, and that forces the knees to cave in a lot more, especially women that have children, right? Their cores become a lot weak, adductors become very weak. So women should be doing the adductor movements as well. I think everybody should be doing these kind of movements. I'll show you guys one more time. So feet out. Make sure your hand position is good. Make sure you start with a light weight because it's gonna put a lot of strain on the wrist. So keep it close to you. You're gonna hold your other hand hold the kettlebell in the other hand and full control. So I don't wanna see people like repping, no. Control the weight, control your body, control the movement. Every day when you sit down and stand up, you gotta control that movement, right? So go down, full control. Focus on the quads when you come up. You may feel a little bit of glute too. That's okay as well. But I'm really trying to target the quads. The more you push your hip back, the more glute. So I'm trying to stay as straight up as possible. If your knee touches, that's okay as well. That's another exercise you could try, but I'm not doing that right now. Elbow in. These are very challenging. Look easy, but trust me, looks can be deceiving. Oh man. Oh man, so again, adding stability to your routines are very important. It's okay to do compound movements like squats and deadlifts, but make sure you add some stability because it also is good for your ankles, your knees, your hips, things like that. Like I've had surgery on this knee. You know, I squat, I don't have any knee pain, I don't have any issues like that. I don't know if you can ask people that have done physical therapy, like they always do like a lot of stability stuff, right? Because you're strengthening the muscles around that area. It's rare that you can strengthen those muscles around that area if you're always heavy lifting, right? The benefits of a great workout is not always about heavy lifting. It's about targeting different muscles. Have intentions on when you lift. Don't just lift the lift. Come in with a game plan. And if you don't have one, hit the link below and get started. I got you, come on, let's go. But that's it for the workouts. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you'd like me to create more content, and with my homeboy GQ right here, make sure you shoot him a follow on his YouTube channel as well. We will drop more and more heat for you, but let me know what you want to see, what kind of content you want to like. So what kind of content you want to see, what kind of content you want to enjoy, kind of content you want to learn so I can teach you as much as I can. Appreciate the love, appreciate you guys watching. Much love, I'm out. And you're not giving it out, helping others, like you're a selfish individual. And I was like, damn, how does that make me selfish if I'm training somebody? He's like, because you got all that knowledge within you, you can share it to the world. And so many people need that knowledge. So many people need that help, you know what I mean? So that's why I kind of wanted to get out there a little bit more. That was a little urge I needed for like, oh shit, like, okay, excuse my French, but I can help out so many people of not knowing how to do these exercises instead of one person, you know? And that's the reason why like I wanted to do like YouTube. I wanted to, you know, create apps because, you know, the number one death in America is heart disease, right? Not many people work out, not many people know how to work out. The gym can be intimidating, so knowing how to do all of this stuff and informing people how to do it, it can be distracting because there's so many things on the internet, you don't know what's right or what's wrong, but I'm just giving what I know, what I use from my experience and years of training, you know what I mean?
And who's that guy you said?
Marquis, yeah, he was the one that motivated me to a lot of this stuff. Him, CT Fletcher, like those are the ones that motivated me into fitness. I used to watch all their videos on YouTube, and now I'm doing exactly what they have done to me. Now I'm passing it down, you know, so I want to appreciate them as well. You know what I mean? Give them a shout out.